at ADIPEC 2010, and you might be equally as surprised as I was to find FujiFilm here. And no, they're not trying to sell us any wonderful paper for printing or any film, but they actually are an integral part of carbon capture and storage, which is something we've been covering either. I want to introduce you to Mike Dingham. Mike, lovely to join us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm also happy to be here.
Good. And Richard Tackx. Richard.
Right,
okay.
Thank you.
So we were absolutely fascinated to come across this stand here, and I'm sure you will be too when you hear the great work that they're actually doing, the very, very innovative and creative work. Now, I've done some interviews during this session too about carbon capture and storage, and we were wondering perhaps how it actually all got separated, and you're the man with the answer.
Well, it comes from our old technology which we use for our film. That's a thin layer, and that thin layer we use also to make gas separation membranes. And that thin layer is separating the methane and the CO2. So that is the trick why we can do something for the environment.
I mean, that's absolutely fascinating. How long have you been doing business like this, particularly in the gas? I would never have looked for this company here.
How long? Well, we have been developing this for 2 years. But we are, of course, in the thin film business for ages, I would say.
Yeah.
So that is how long we are busy with this separation membrane.
Well, it's absolutely spectacular. And of course, we're seeing carbon capture and storage become a lot more acceptable in many countries in Europe. In Norway, we've seen, just recently I was in Algeria looking at the big project there. A lot of trial projects in America. I mean, it's actually moving on. Give us a feel for some of the clients you're working with. I mean, I'm sure you've got a few around the world.
Like Mike mentioned, it was the first time we are at ADIPEC, so we're really discussing with all the big players like the BP or the Shell or the Statoil, but also, of course, with all the company involved in that market, so the contractors, the EPCs, the consultant, because it's first time for us to be really in the industrial product. So, I mean, it's quite important to meet everybody, basically to make aware that we are now in as a FujiFilm company and that we have some unique technology really that can help them in processing their gas.
An absolutely fascinating technology it is too. And I suppose we have to admit, whether we like it or not, people are not maybe buying as many films as they used to. So the diversification for your business, this is a tremendous new avenue that you're exploring.
Absolutely correct. So FujiFilm is known for the film, but film represents maybe today 10% of the business. It's very few people who are still using the film, so we have to diversify. We are in different industry, like the graphic cards or the medical. But definitely one of the business now Fuji is looking for is be a player in the industrial markets. And oil and gas is definitely a big market, so that's why we're very interested in that market.
Absolutely. How have you been for the last few days? A few people coming here maybe looking a little surprised and wondering what you're doing, and then I'm sure being incredibly fascinated and interested just like I was.
Yes, so it's a nice start. Everybody asks, FujiFilm, what are you doing here? So then I tell the story, the technical story, why we are here, how we end up here. And they can understand. So I show them the product, our module, which we have made. And, well, then they are really interested. So I think for us, this is a good first start to enter this market.
Well, wonderful, and we wish you the absolute best of luck, gentlemen, Richard and to Mike, and hopefully we'll see you at ADIPEC 2012 and indeed beyond. But now I know how that gas gets separated and the production that goes into it. So wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. See you next time.